A traffic stop was conducted in Arizona by a canine officer for an equipment violation, which is a fancy way of saying their car had something wrong with it, which violated the Arizona traffic code. The officer approached the vehicle and found a man and a woman inside, but not just any woman. A woman dressed as a nun with a Bible in her lap. Now, for those of you who are familiar with nunnery, which is probably very few of you, you dirty godless heathens, it's pretty unusual for a nun to be traveling alone with a man. Reports also alleged the man and woman were acting strange, and the officer was having none of it. One thing led to another. I assume the canine got involved for a little scratch and sniff, and 8.5 pounds of fentanyl were found on or around the nun. Now, why would you smuggle drugs in a nun outfit? Presumably because the Lord on high is mighty. No, obviously it's because a religious person might be more lenient with a nun, or more hesitant to search one. There's no word yet on whether or not she was charged as a habitual offender. You know, because a nun's outfit is called a habit. I only did this story because of the puns. Don't do drugs, kids. When you're trying to play a professional sport, you want to do everything you can to get better, right? You might wake up early to exercise. You'll practice the same move for hours at a time. You'll analyze footage of the greats and memorize stats. But would you play naked in a public park? That's what happened in, of course, Florida. A man who we'll call Jordan, because that's his name, was allegedly under the impression that playing basketball naked improved his skill. As commendable as his desire to get better is, being naked in a public park, which is where the police found Jordan, will get you charged with indecent exposure. You also have to ask, was he really better, or did everyone else just go, nah man, you can make that shit, you know what? No, the basket's all yours. I'm not even, you know what? No defense, you go for it. Put your clothes back on, though. And just as a friendly reminder for those of you who may not be super familiar with this sport, a basketball is played with one ball, not three. Now, I'd love to tell you more about this situation, folks, but the responding police department continues to ignore my questions about palming and dribbling that may have occurred. That's a little basketball joke. You know what also improves your skill? Practicing with clothes on. But if you're unwilling to take such drastic steps, here's some advice. Maybe learn from Jordan's mistakes and wait until dark to play in the park naked. The sun was still up. Why would you be that stupid? Come on, guy. A man in Florida, we'll call him Wesley, because that's his name, was arrested on a warrant related to a prior drug incident and brought to the county jail. Now, for those of you who have never spent time in a county jail, which I hope is all of you, part of the booking process is a fairly thorough search for contraband. Wesley allegedly stated he knew what would happen if any undisclosed contraband was found, and presumably answered, "As you wish," when he was told a strip search was about to be conducted. That's a little Princess Bride joke for all of you. When exploring the bakery, you know, the butt, because of the buns. It's a butt joke. 3 syringes were discovered. Now, I've never had 3 syringes in my rectum yet, but I imagine it would be pretty hard to forget they were there. Wesley's excuse? He had found them, but they weren't his. Unfortunately for you, Wesley, the jail staff also found them. Now, I may be out of line, but I happen to be under the impression that when you put something you found up your butt, it's basically yours at that point.